I created this artwork for Benny's Editor this year. And in this video, I will go over a lot of interesting parts of the edit and explain how I made them. I will show you how I created horns, wounds on the body, or secret method for cinematic lava rimlight. If you want to watch the whole creation process, check out speed art video on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and let's start. Horns. I found a photo of a mouflon and cut out its horns. Then I copied and flipped them vertically. I masked out unwanted parts and connected them with a soft brush. I made a copy of the horns, scaled them down, and placed them right behind the front horns, and also rotated them a little bit to the center. To connect the horns to the head, I added texture of a skin over the beginning of the horn. Shadows are necessary, and I used exposure adjustment layer. I also painted shadows and highlights with an exposure on the skin texture to make it look more 3D. To make the shadow on the skin look more browned and reddish, I applied color balance to the shadow layer. Pointy ears. It's actually very simple. I just use a puppet warp tool and stretch the ear. Wounds. I used a photo of a bloody wound, inverted mask and painted back on the places where I wanted them. To make it look realistic, I painted narrow shadows and highlights on the skin around the wound. Cracked ground. To create cracks on the ground, I dropped their photo of a desert ground, change its perspective to match ground and change blending mode to luminosity. That means that photo will affect only lights and shadows, but not colors. Then I of course masked out the hard edge. Changing title on weapon. First of all, I needed to get rid of the original text, so I used an object selection tool and fixed details in select and mask. With selection of text, I could use content aware fill. I selected a medieval style font for my new text and placed it vertically on the sword. I enabled bevel and emboss, and in blending options, I used this layer slider to make the black text invisible. I played with the values in bevel and emboss, just to make sure that direction is down. I also enabled inner shadow and glow to add even more depth. Rim light. For white cinematic rim light, I added hue and saturation layer. I selected yellow-green color, made saturation 100 and lightness around 90. By this I will achieve that rim light won't be completely white but still very bright. Then I just painted mostly with a hard brush. Now I will show you how I made this lava gradient rim light. I learned this method from Encrate, who I believe learned it from Max Asabin. Add gradient map adjustment layer and select colors of your choice. In my case, I went with classic fire gradient, which is red, orange, yellow and white. Add an empty layer under the gradient map and a completely black layer under both layers. Add all three layers to the group and select blending mode of the group to screen to remove black color. Now when you paint on empty layer with white color, you should see the effect. And I recommend lowering flow of the brush. This is my artwork of a Benny Demon. If you want to support me, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As always, leave a comment on how you like it and what type of artwork would you like to see next. Thanks for watching.